Hi there, my name is Bonnie, and this is assignment 11 for my HR 240 Law and Ethics in the Business Environment class. And for this assignment, I am supposed to read two articles. One of them is an example in the book, and one of them is an actual article. Briefly summarize the articles and state what laws are involved. So I'm going to start with the book. That's example 32.5 on page 541 of our textbook. And in this example, this gal Bruno was applying for a job at the Larkville National Bank and Trust. During her interview with the human resources manager, she was asked what her husband does for a living and whether or not she plans on having any kids. Well, Bruno hesitated when she was thinking about her responses to these questions. And based on her hesitation, the human resources manager told her that she was no longer being considered for the position. Bruno didn't like that, so she talked to the EEOC. The laws involved in this particular example are anti-discrimination laws. I think that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that prevents illegal discrimination would also be part of this example. The book mentions that this is a sex discrimination case. I kind of hesitate there because it doesn't, to me at least, sound like a sex discrimination case. This is just my personal experience speaking, please understand. But in my personal experience, most of the people that are in clerical positions are women. And most of the human resources managers, all of the human resources managers I have ever encountered have been female. So if you have a female interviewing a female, asking her what her husband does for a living and whether or not she's planning on having kids, she could just be trying to be friendly, trying to get Bruno to thaw out a little bit and open up about her life. And when Bruno hesitated, maybe to the human resources manager, the hesitation symbolized that she wasn't willing to share, and sometimes during interviews that can seem like you're not particularly trustworthy, and maybe the human resources manager didn't feel that connection, so she asked Bruno to leave. But in any case, I don't think if I was the human resources manager in this case that I would have told Bruno at that point, okay, you can go now. That in itself right there sounds like some sort of discrimination to me, but certainly not sex discrimination. And if the EEOC is going to look into this, the bank's going to need to talk to the human resources manager in the future about he or she conducting herself during interviews so that they don't get sanctioned in the future like they did at this time. Moving on, the next article I was required to review for this assignment was Store Manager Files FMLA Lawsuit Against Office Depot. And here's what's happening here. The gal in this article, her name is Sherry Vagoda. Her father died, and she took some family medical leave, which she's allowed to have under the Family Medical Leave Act, to take some time off to grieve for her father. When she came back to her job after her approved leave, her supervisor told her that she had been demoted from store manager to assistant manager. This individual's logic was that Sherry had not contacted the store at all during her approved leave, and in his or her eyes that showed a lack of dedication. I think Sherry was just grieving, but that's just between you and me. Anyway, I think there's more at play here than just the Family Medical Leave Act. Although certainly what the store manager, what her supervisor was doing did in some way violate the Family Medical Leave Act. Because I believe that states that all employees are entitled to a certain amount of paid leave, not to exceed a certain amount of time, in which to grieve their families, deal with medical issues, and so on. And then when they come back, they're reinstated at their former rank, their former pay rating, and as if nothing had changed since they had left. So this article definitely violates that. But I also think it violates some of the anti-discrimination laws as well, because this just has the earmarks of an anti-discrimination case. My feeling on how this case is going to turn out is that either the courts will probably find for Vagoda and insist that the store reinstate her at her former rank, and she'll get some sort of damages for this. And either A, they'll fire her supervisor or send the gentleman or woman to be retrained, or she or he will get demoted. As far as Bruno and example 32.5, it already said that the EEOC was going to fine this business, so I don't really have much more to say than that. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I really hope you enjoyed my presentation, and have a great evening.